Hello friends, Namaste. Let's start off with taking just a nice deep breath. Because that always helps to ground yourself, right? It's always good to do. I hope you can keep doing that a lot during the day also. And this time we're gonna talk a bit about the different layers of your being. Now, I've been talking quite a lot about it also already in other sessions, and how we are not just our physical body, flesh and bones, but there's also this energy flowing through the nervous system. We have our mind, our emotions, etc. But this time I'm gonna also talk on a bit of a deeper level about this and how we can start to really not just take care of our physical body by eating healthy and doing all sorts of exercise, that we become physically healthy and strong, but also really seeing that, hey, I also have this mental body, this emotional body, this deeper layer of a wisdom body that I really can start to cultivate, to nurture. Just like cultivating a garden, the amount of time and effort and energy and love you put into it will really determine the state of that garden, right? It's the same with your mind, the same with your emotional system, the same with your inner wisdom. How beautiful your mind is, or how beautiful your emotion system is for a great part in your own hands. And how to start taking control of this and how to start cultivating a beautiful garden is really up to you, how you're going to use all the information I'm going to share with you now. So now, in the ancient days, there were some wonderful saintly people, some sages that would spend decades. Imagine spending decades doing meditation really every day, living completely away from society, and every day becoming more aware of what am I? What is this life? So every day in deep meditation, only eating very pure foods, being in the nature, completely away from people, maybe not talking for months, and just doing meditation. Imagine how aware you would become of your body, that you would start to really feel like, hey, I can feel my heart rate, even can start to control your heart rate, feeling how if you eat something, completely becoming aware how your digestion works, how it's being absorbed into your body, how it becomes your physical body. So, like I said, imagine if you would do that for like 40 or 50 years, you would become so aware of what you are. You become aware of the deeper layers of your physical being. For most of us, we know we have a hand, and maybe you have to touch your hand to be able to feel it. But to really, like some of you have maybe experienced when you are in a bit of deeper meditation, you can feel really every little detail of your hand. You can feel the blood flowing, you can feel the heart beating. And like that, you become more aware of what you are. Not on an intellectual level, not by measuring it by certain instruments or devices, but by using your awareness, sharpening it so much that you can feel really what you are. Now, so these wonderful people that have developed these beautiful techniques of yoga, they were very conscious, very aware of the deeper layers of the self and reality. So they taught, they were teaching that basically as a human being we consist of 5 different, let's say, layers, 5 different bodies. First of all, we have our physical body. Right? And this physical body, and this anamaya kosha, this layer, this kosha, is like your food body. It comes from the food that you've been eating. And I've been explaining a bit about it already in the other sessions, right? How every molecule, every atom in your body has come from the food that you've been eating, right? What you eat, you become. And your flesh and bones, the blood flow, etc., that's your physical body. But also on a deeper level, to be able to move your body, to be able to feel your body, and also the information from the brain and the, let's say, the intelligence, the energy that flows through your body is your energy body. Without this energy, I would be dead on the floor right now, right? So through the nervous system is flowing electric energy, but there's also these more subtle energies and this beautiful intelligence, which helps my body to be regulated, to function properly, right? And this is the prana maya kosha, the layer of the prana, so to say, right? So, as I explained in other sessions, that through breathing techniques, through pranayama, you are able to influence very much your nervous system, the way the energy flows. You can increase the energy in your body, or you can balance it just by doing certain wonderful breathing techniques. And this is hopefully something you can really develop greatly power over and knowledge over, that you can start to use your breath to harmonize, to balance, to energize your whole, let's say, life energy body as well, right? Now, as I said sometimes also before, these different layers of your being, they influence each other. Because if your, let's say, your nervous system is very restless, very agitated, if your mind is very restless, you're agitated, it will reflect back in your state of body, in your muscles. So, for example, if we go on a deeper layer, the layer of the mind, the layer of emotions, if there's a lot of agitation, a lot of tension in the mind, what happens? As you can see, my face starts to frown. So the mind reflects back into the nervous system, into the energy body, and that reflects back in how my muscles behave. There comes tension, maybe I start breathing shorter, maybe I get all this tension here and pain in the neck and back pain, the digestive system stops working properly. So that layer, that more subtle layer, has a direct influence on the more gross layer, right? So to go a bit deeper into the more subtle layers, as I mentioned, the mind and the emotional system. And mind, can we really measure mind? Is it really something physical? No, it is not really, right? You can say, okay, it's the neural connections flowing through the brain, and it's also part of the nervous system, but it's a little bit more complicated and let's say subtle than this. So this ability, this is manomaya kosha, to be able to calm also your mind, which will reflect back on how your nervous system is, which will reflect back on how your state of body is. So we're gonna do a more subtle level even. Let's say your wisdom body. Of course, a word is a bit difficult to describe it, but you could say your wisdom body, because sometimes, you know, the mind is saying something like, oh, you should not go, let's say, for to help that person that's maybe in a car accident. I'm just saying an example, because you put yourself in danger. But there is this other layer of yourself which says, no, you can do it because it's really good to help that person. That person is in danger. And you can fill in the blanks a little bit, that there is, on the one hand, that mind, which is maybe driven by fear or by something else, but there is this other layer of your being which knows on a deeper level what is good for you, which also has the willpower, and which also is on a deep level having this inner wisdom, this sense of that you know just things not because you intellectually solve them, but there's this wisdom within with which you know and understand. And if you practice a lot of meditation and all these wonderful breathing techniques, you get more in connection with that. You start to just, let's say, know life, understand life a little bit better. This inner wisdom you start to tap into, right? So there is this let's say, this layer beyond the thinking mind, beyond the emotions, which just knows which directions to flow in life, and knowing what is right decisions to make, and understanding on a deeper level life. Now then we come to the fifth kosha, the fifth layer of our being, which is even beyond this wisdom part of our being, beyond the mind, the emotion. And that is a layer of, let's say, pure consciousness. Your pure consciousness is also called the bliss body. Ananda Maya Kosha. Ananda means bliss. So it's that pure consciousness, and some of you have maybe sometimes really connected with it, felt that you feel like, wow, all of a sudden, it's no more mind, it's no more thinking, it's no more identifying with your body, but just feeling this state of pure being, the state of pure consciousness, the state of pure bliss that results in, if you can really start to feel it. So that you understand, like, okay, I'm not necessarily the mind that is constantly chattering, I'm not necessarily this body, I'm not necessarily the talking that goes on in myself, but there is this deep state of pure being, the I am, the pure consciousness within, right? So what we try to develop, at least what I really try to teach, is that you become aware very much, first of all, of your physical body. You learn to feel your body. You learn to not just know, like, okay, I have hands, I have an arm, I have a heart that's beating, but that you really start to directly feel it, experience it. And notice, like, there is sometimes tension, there's this or that. And that you learn to feel like, okay, there is sometimes this relaxedness in my system, sometimes this tension, there's these different states of my nervous system. And then there is the mind that maybe judges something about it, like, oh, but you should feel more relaxed, or you should feel at ease, or you should do this or do that. But that you start to realize, okay, there's also the mind, and that results in a certain emotion, that you feel maybe frustrated, happy, angry, sad, very joyful, whatever that state of emotion is. But that you become aware, like, these emotions, they're also constantly changing. That's also a layer of the self. But that you start to go even deeper and start to understand, like, hey, if there is talking going on in my mind, if there's emotions that are being experienced, that are being felt, my body is being experienced, what is actually that part of the self which is experiencing all of this, which is the consciousness, your pure consciousness. And that source, or you could say, not that it's the source at the center, but it's more the field in which all these things can be experienced, the field of consciousness, so to say, that you are this infinite space in which all these experiences are being felt, of a body, of an emotion, of a mind, of a judgment, of a joyful experience, that you feel like, wow, there is this spaciousness. I am this, at the essence, this spaciousness in which all these things can be manifested and experienced, right? Now let's go a little bit deeper in this, because there is also a sixth layer that isn't talked about very much. But this sixth layer is an illusion, so to say, because a lot of people feel like, okay, I am this physical body, but I also identify very much with my clothes and how people see me. Do they see me as a very important person? Do they see me as maybe, if my clothes are not looking so good, that they think I'm just a bum and they will think very low about me? Or my work, my job, the possessions that I have, that I feel so identified with the possessions that I have, that if, for example, I come back to my car and there is a big scratch in my car, that it's not just hurted the car, but it hurts me. It hurts me, like, oh, my car, it's so painful. Or if somebody says something not so nice about my hair, and this destroys the idea that I have about myself, that I want to present myself to the world as a very beautiful person, and then somebody says something about my hair, doesn't even touch my hair, doesn't do anything, just says something. Oh, my idea about the self is shattered, this ego. Or if I have a lot of money in the stock market, it's not even real, it's numbers on the screen, but I see all of the sudden these numbers have dropped so much. Oh, it hurts my body. even I get tension, maybe even start to breathe differently, start to cry maybe even, or in the long term, this tension start to develop in back pain or neck pain or all these things. So that this idea that I have about myself, or the possessions that I have that are not really myself, I become so identified with this that if something happens with that, it hurts me on the different sheets, on these different layers of my being as well. So learning to develop the ability to let go also in life, to understand in meditation, what am I really? And if you sit, that you feel like, okay, you go through these different layers, the body, okay, the mind is in a certain way, maybe a roller coaster, maybe steady, the emotions, okay, and you start to just let go. I am not the possessions that I have, the body I'm experiencing is my vehicle, but in essence I am not that. So that you start to peel off the layers until you get to the source of the self, that blissful state of being. And that's where really the healing can start to happen in life. That you start to understand and put really in perspective what is really important in life. It's not so much what other people would think about you and your career and all these things. And that you start to maybe work so much to get a lot of money, or to get a lot of, let's say, approval of people, or that they respect you, that you work so much that your physical body gets sick, or your mind gets so much tension it gets sick, or something like that, right? But that you start to feel like, okay, what is really important in life? What am I in essence? What can I use in life, but not be so identified with? And this is something very important, which hopefully you can really learn to do. And for that, it is good to every day take some time to really realize what are you, to start to let go. That you can sit and you notice, the mind may be telling you, but you should be doing this now, or you should be doing that. And that you understand, for now, I'm not gonna react to this. I'm not gonna listen to it. It's like you put a little sign on your door that says, do not disturb. And the mind, it keeps knocking that you should be doing this, but you feel like, okay, it's the mind. I'm not the mind. It's a useful tool, but now I'm not gonna use it. And you can start to drop that. Certain emotions there. You start to drop these layers which are part of you, which are the tools, but don't have to determine the way that you are or the way that you feel. And you go back to your center. You feel like, all right, that's my center. It's like you start to clean up. And living from that foundation then is so important, because at that center there is already completeness. There is already unity. There is already fulfillment. This bliss body, everything is already there, right? So if you can live from that foundation and feeling like, in essence, peace, joy, happiness, love is already experienced, is already felt, then the choices that you make in life are not choices to try to complete yourself, but they are choices to start to share, start to give. You don't want to fill up an emptiness and take in life, but you want to start sharing because you feel you have already so much, and you can start giving. And that's a whole different flow in energy. Not feeling that I want this and I need that and taking, right? So I hope you get the point with it. So getting to your center, feeling that fulfillment, that joy, that unity, that connection with life, with God, with creation, all these things. Feeling like, okay, wonderful. And then from there, start giving. And your state of emotion, your state of mind will determine very much how your state of body is, but also will determine how your state of life is outside of your own body. Your relationships, the things that you choose in life, what you, let's say, attract into your life, the kind of people, the possessions, the situations. It depends so much on these subtler layers as well. So learn to work with these subtler layers. Great. All right, friends. So we're gonna do just a short meditation, about 5 or 10 minutes, but this will really help us to start to let go a bit more of these things we feel so identified with and get to our source. So take a little moment to rotate the hands, to open up the wrists. Take a nice deep breath in, stretch out. Bring the hands down and roll the neck. Just to make some space in the body. Roll the shoulders. One. Now, feel free to place your hands any way that you like, but for meditation, it's really nice to place one hand on top of the other, like you're carrying your own hand. You can sit up straight on a chair, on the floor, it's all good. And take a couple of calm, deep breaths. As you're breathing like this, become aware of your body. Make a little scan and notice that some muscles are very relaxed, other muscles are a bit tensed. Some things feel good, other things feel not so good. It's okay, but like that, you just scan through your body. Like, how does your body actually feel? And as you relax the lips, make maybe even a little smile. It's like you smile to your own body and recognize, that's the state of my body now. It's okay. Let's go on a little bit more subtler level. As you're sitting like this, you feel your body is in a certain state. Maybe it's a bit restless, maybe it's a bit agitated, or maybe it's very calm and relaxed. It's all good. You notice like, I feel restless or calm, relaxed. It's okay. On a subtler level, you feel that there is all these thoughts maybe going on, or maybe it's nice and quiet in there in the mind. Maybe there's some judgment, maybe there's some peaceful thoughts, some happy thoughts, maybe some visualizations of things, some daydreaming going on. It's all good. But just recognizing, like, that's also happening within this experience of life. And again, learn to make this kind, like a patient mini smile, recognizing like, that's my state of mind at the moment. Maybe peaceful, maybe restless. It's okay. It's the way it is. And as you can feel the body that is sitting there with a nervous system, with an energetic system, with the mind, the emotions, connect for just a couple of calm breaths. Connect your breathing with that. That you feel very slowly the breathing comes in. You hold for a little moment, and with the exhalation, you relax all these systems. You release, you accept. It's okay. Let's go a little bit deeper, friends. You notice, for some of you, that you recognize this is a good path that I'm on now, getting to the source. This is, so to say, on a deeper level, that wisdom body, that you start to develop this knowing, not by a thinking mind, but just this feeling of knowing, this presence, this wisdom without words. That you generate that feeling of understanding. And now ask yourself, who or what is experiencing all this? Who is feeling and experiencing that body, that mind? The nervous system? You recognize a feeling of complete spaciousness. As if in that spaciousness you feel a sensation of the body here and there. In that spaciousness, the mind manifests itself with a certain thought or an idea. In that spaciousness, peace is felt. Or maybe a bit of agitation, also good. It's all life experience which is felt in that open spaciousness, so to say. Like you sit with kindness, with peace, and experience space within. Sitting like this for just a little bit longer. And open yourself up completely to the moment. However it is felt, however it is experienced. Like you feel, this is what I experience now. Let life unfold itself. Open up. Just let life happen. Let it happen. Let it happen. Last couple of calm breaths. Become very aware of body sitting there that's breathing. Become very aware if there are still some thoughts, ideas about the present moment. It's all good. It's all good. Give it space. That for just a couple of moments, you become fully aware of life that is happening right here, right now. Beautiful. Keeping that same awareness and become aware now how you can move a bit the fingers. How that works wonderfully. That you can start sending signals to your hands, to your arms. You can start moving them just by thinking about moving them. Move a bit the head, the neck, however you want. And lastly, let's generate some good vibes and start breathing them. We rub the hands together. We place a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart. And we smile a bit as we breathe. We smile, a bit of gratitude. Wonderful, thank you towards life and creation, great spirit, God, nature. Wonderful. You breathe it really into all the layers of your being. You breathe it into your physical body, up to the heart with a little smile. The exhalation, you spread it out into your whole body. You spread it out into your whole mind. You spread it out into your whole emotional system. In all the layers of your being, you create some good vibes. Wonderful, thank you. One more time, rubbing your hands together. You can place them either in front of the heart, like this, or in front of the forehead. Just 3 more calm breaths from the belly to the heart to the head. May all be blessed with peace, with love, with wisdom. Namaste, friends. You can massage a bit the face, go over the head, go over the body for some kind attention. Good vibes. Beautiful. Friends, hopefully you can start to really implement all these theories right into your life. You can watch hours and hours and hours of beautiful YouTube videos and all these things, but if you were not really gonna put these things into practice, really getting knowledge, not with the mind, but getting knowledge by direct experience, by feeling it, by tapping into that deeper inner wisdom as well, then stuff really starts to happen in your life, right? And if you want to learn more about this, make sure to check out, for example, the 7 Days Essentials course on my website, or the Breath is Life course. There's a link below, to every day have some simple tools to really put this knowledge into daily practice. And it already has changed the lives of many thousands of people. So hopefully you can join in with that as well. Right, friends? Lots of peace, lots of love, lots of wisdom. Have a beautiful, beautiful life. Namaste. And again, I see all these beautiful, wonderful comments and from all over the world, India, Italy, Ireland, Japan, even very, very, very wonderful. I appreciate it, and I always look at those comments as well, and I feel a very beautiful connection with all these people. So thank you very much for your wonderful support in all this. Love and namaste. Thank you.